Welcome back to the Lumiose Post, where we talk about all things Pokemon, and today we're going to be talking about how, well, Pokemon murdered X and Y. So for those who don't know, right now what is happening in the community is there's a giant leak that is taking place. Someone hacked GameFreak, is leaking out information. They've leaked out Gen 3 stuff, Gen 5 stuff. They even have leaked out stuff about the anime and Generation 10 and Pokemon Legends EA. Now, I'm going to go ahead and give you a little warning. If anybody posts any spoilers in the comment section about Legends EA, about Gen 10, or about Horizons without marketing it as a spoiler and giving an appropriate amount of room so people don't get spoiled, then I will delete your comment, okay? We gotta be respectful that not everybody's into this stuff, you know? I am. You are, that's great. We're not going to be talking about the ZA, Gen 10, Horizon stuff today. We're going to be talking about, and I don't plan to right now, to be honest, like ever, but you can check out Hidden Power for that kind of information. Today, we're going to be talking about what we know about X and Y. So it's not really hard to believe that whenever Game Freak creates a game, or any company creates a game really, they are going to have a lot of ideas that are going to get scrapped. This has included Pokemon. This has included plot, characters, like human characters, those kinds of things. It can include anything. And we've learned a lot about what was supposed to be included in X and Y and was scrapped. So to take you way back, we actually have known that there was some kind of sequel planned for X and Y. We know that's because of in Sun and Moon's coding. We can see that there's X, Y, Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, and then below that there's an X2 and a Y2. Now there is also, if you look at the years, in 2015 we had a gap year with Pokemon. We had 2014 was the release of Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, and 2016 was the release of Sun and Moon, but there was nothing in 2015. Very likely this X and Y2 project would have been released here. It would have likely, if I were to take a guess, had featured Zygarde as kind of the mascot Pokemon. Probably would have had the other Zygarde forms, maybe something with Ash Greninja, or that being some kind of gimmick that's featured. I don't know about that. That might have been anime only. But either way, we never got this. Well, now they have been data mining X and Y and can see from this big leak, and they are able to see things that were planned in the game that we didn't know about before. For one, and this is something we have kind of known about, there was a planned Mega Jinx. We actually did know about this because in Pokemon Home, there is a Jinx cry for its Mega Evolution. You know, and here we actually have the Mega Jinx. Like, we don't have an image of it, but we can see in coding it existed. We can see what its stats were. We can see that it got the ability Magic Guard. It was a real thing, and that's kind of wild. You could add the speculation that perhaps this could mean that since Jinx was a Mega that was considered and was scrapped, maybe it's a Mega they would bring back for Legends EA. I don't know if that's true. That definitely hasn't been leaked, so that's pure speculation, I promise. But that is interesting to note. Now, the thing that really got me, though, is that there has been a huge discussion in the fan base ever since X and Y, and that is South Kalos. So with X and Y and the post game, you're able to go to a city called Kalos City. Kalos City is like described as like the gateway to South Kalos, or like an example of Southern Kalos life. And if you look at the basis of the Kalos region is inspired by northern France. A lot of people like to say, oh, it's our France region. And it is, but it also isn't. It is France, but it's mainly northern France. There really isn't any southern France inclusion into the Kalos region. So this has long sparked speculation of, okay, maybe we could see South Kalos in Legends EA. I've seen people say that. I doubt that. There was, at the time of Scarlet and Violet, when we did not know the DLC, the Teal Mask, or the Indigo Disc, a lot of people speculated that that little portion of the map that was not filled, but like you could see it was there. A lot of people speculated that that was South Kalos and would be featured in our DLC. People, even after the DLC release, speculated that there could be another DLC that would take us to South Kalos. This was something that people talked about. It even looks like Game Freak hinted at Paldea neighboring Kalos, because they have these 3 trainers that are right there in the upper east side of the Paldea region, having Kalos Pokemon, and it just all seems really fishy, especially now that Legends ZA happens to be the game after Scarlet and Violet. And now we know that South Kalos was indeed real and was not planned for Scarlet and Violet DLC, but was actually planned for something related to X and Y. Now, currently, I'm seeing conflicted reports. I'm seeing some people say that it was planned DLC for X and Y, and I'm seeing some people say that it was planned just post-game for X and Y, and I'm even seeing some people say that it was a planned part of X2 and Y2 only. Now, this is something to remember when we get into all this leaks territory, guys. A lot of people like to look at these leaks and it's like data or it's Japanese text, and they like to go, this is what this means because I threw it in Google Translate, and then they throw it out there and say it to the world, look everyone, look what this means. And a lot of the times Google Translate is not correct. A lot of the times people reading coding are not experts at it and think they are. You know, it's that whole thing you hear that everybody on Reddit's a lawyer, right? That's basically the mindset. So just be vigilant out there when you're reading stuff. You know, make sure it's coming from a trusted translator. Poke Sutami is a great translator in the community. Jan is also a very good translator in the community. There's others as well, but those are just two that I'm close to personally. You know, wait for stuff to come from people like them. Don't trust machine translated stuff. And again, with the coding stuff, that's kind of hard to interpret. Like, I'm not an expert on coding. I'm never going to pretend to be an expert on coding. I can't read coding and tell you if this was DLC or what. But the point is, it doesn't matter. The point is that South Kalos was real. South Kalos was real. We see the cities that this was seemingly based off of. If you look at the, like, intro, I guess, for the anime, the part of the XY anime where they would show the episode title, you can actually see that they have written the city names, like, and it's in the same location as the South Kalos map. So that's pretty freaking wild. And yeah, I mean, this is insane. Man, I have so many thoughts on this. So first off, let's talk about some other features with X and Y, and then I'm going to recap my thoughts on all of it because it's all incorporated. People have also found from the beta that there were supposed to be things like a more dynamic camera. You know, think about how in Legends Arceus, you are in Scarlet and Violet, you're able to kind of move the camera around, change the angle. There was a little bit of that planned for X and Y. There was also planned to be some kind of co-op mode, probably more similar to Black and White's version of that with the Intralink. And yeah, I mean, man, like I said, it's upsetting because look, here's the thing. I don't know if you saw my channel name when you clicked this video, but this is the Lumiose post. I'm a big Kalos fan. You look behind me, you can see a Kalos poster. You can see a little Vivian over there. There's a Gudra over there. He's kind of blocked by the Pokeball, but he's there. And I've always been a big Kalos fan. And I've always said that X and Y are the most overhated Pokemon games of all time, and they actually are my favorite games. I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that they're the best games. Objectively, I can understand that they're not the best games, but they are my favorite games. You know, some can be your favorite and not the best, right? But I don't know. I feel like this whole leak has proven what I've always said, and that is that X and Y did at least have the potential to be the best Pokemon game. I really do believe that. And I think that Pokemon dropped the ball, honestly. You know, I like to be a source of positivity. I like to, you know, say I love everything that Pokemon does. I'd love to be able to say that, but this is something where it's like, ooh, you know, that would have been really nice. Why did they scrap this? We don't know. Maybe it was so they could give more development time for Sun and Moon, as that was their big 20th anniversary project. And, you know, that just makes sense that they would want to give some more attention to that rather than a sequel or a DLC, which obviously doesn't sell as well as a new gen. So maybe that was the reason. You know, I don't know. Maybe they were tracking like kind of fan interest and just seeing like, we don't know that this will do as well, so let's pull back. I'm not sure. I'm not GameFreak. I can't explain why they did this, but I do think that Kalos was never given a real chance, right? Every single Pokemon game has more than just the initial entry, right? Like, you know, Sword and Shield and Scarlet and Violet, a little bit different, but they get DLC, so they do get extra attention later. Sure, Paldea doesn't get, like, another game. Galar doesn't get, like, another game, at least not yet, but they do get an extra year of attention. But with X and Y, we get Kalos in 2013, and we leave it for Hoenn in 2014, and we never see it again. Sure, now we're getting Legends ZA that's coming out next year in 2025, but it's just set in Lumio City. You know, maybe it'll include some areas surrounding Lumio City, but that's at best, you know what I mean? Like, it's not including all of Kalos. So I just really feel like Kalos hasn't gotten a fair shot, and honestly, I guess that's what I'm doing today, is just kind of venting about that, because I'm a big Kalos fan, and I don't want you to see this as something negative. I'm very, very hopeful for Legends EA, you know, based off of things that we have heard. It sounds like it's going to be really cool. Also, just based off the official information, it is a Kalos game. It is a Legends game, which I loved Legends Arceus. I think that this could be an amazing game, but I just do wish that one day we could see more depth into the Kalos lore, more depth into the Kalos characters, and more depth into the Kalos region. Let us check out that Southern Kalos part, man. Hopefully one day we'll get an X and Y remake that allows us to do this. But until then, it's official. Southern Kalos was real. Maybe is real, because, you know, it, like I said, it appears on the little anime slogan. You can see the towns there. I don't know, guys. Let me know what you think. Are you bummed about Southern Kalos not being in the game? Would you want to see Southern Kalos return one day? Or are you kind of like, you know what, I don't need it, I don't care? Let me know in the comments below. I know this was a bit of a different video, but I felt like I had to voice this because it's Kalos, right? It's X and Y. And there was just so much planned things like the Southern Kalos and like the co-op feature that make me go, wow, they were putting in so much in this, and it's just like they went, we can reel back on this project. And I'm not sure why one would do that. But yeah, let me know what you think. Like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. And until next time, I'll see all of you later.